During his recent rally in Nevada, Donald Trump faced a pretty humiliating moment where he had to abruptly stop speaking. And let me tell you, the reason was truly cringeworthy. We'll jump right into the clip, and I'll chime in with my thoughts every now and then. Let's check it out.
There's something wrong with her. When you can't get up and make a speech like normally, like with all the work we do, you know, you'd think you could, for 40 minutes. Well, she makes very short speeches, too. Do you ever notice they're like 10 minutes? It's, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you. My name is Carmela. And she, you know, she'll speak like so routinely. So, and I hate the word. You know, they had word salad. The words. I don't like the sound of it, but it's sort of true. You know, she just like they're just words. They're put together. They don't mean anything. How the hell can we have a person like this to be our president?
It's ironic. Trump is out here saying that Harris can't speak, yet he can barely manage to say the term word salad. His speeches lately seem to be filled with complaints about the most nonsensical things. We hear him talking about windmills causing cancer, an outrageous claim, and rambling about McDonald's. It's like he's living in an alternate reality, and it seems more deranged than ever, especially when he starts attacking language itself. Of course, he can't resist revisiting his old grievances, particularly his ongoing battle with the mainstream media. He gets especially upset when they cover the truth, even if it's just sometimes. Take, for instance, his reaction to the 60 Minutes interview with Harris, a segment he was too afraid to appear on. So, let's take a closer look at what he had to say during these recent speeches.
What they did with her, I believe, is the biggest scandal in broadcast history. I do. If that were me right now, I probably wouldn't be allowed to speak. They'd have me tied up someplace like, sir, would you come this way, please?
So, what's really behind Trump's outrage? Is it that Harris was able to articulate her policy positions? Or maybe it's because he's simply too afraid to engage in a substantive discussion himself. There's a lot of fear, projection, and insecurity coming from Trump, and it just seems to fuel his incoherent ramblings even more. And, of course, he always has an excuse for why he goes off on these tangents. Let's take a look at the latest attempt he made to explain his erratic behavior. It's quite something.
My answer is they just cut him up. So that instead of 4 sentences that are perfect, it's one sentence that proceeds back, and all of a sudden, I used to say to him, why did you cut the hell out of my paragraph? You know, I do the weave, right? Always a weave, right? And always end up in the right location. But I said, why did you do that, 60 Minutes?
Picture this. He's shouting into the wind, insisting, I am not insane, while trying to showcase his so-called high-minded speaking style. Honestly, I don't think anyone is buying that, Donald. It's just another moment of embarrassment. But that's not the only thing we need to discuss today. There was a particularly chaotic incident at his rally when part of his stage fell onto the projector for his teleprompter, forcing him to stop mid-speech.
My teleprompter people do a great job. Thank God I don't use teleprompters too much. These people, they do a great job. No, I look at the teleprompter's totally gone. I say, what the hell happened? The sign fell on top of it.
So, the guy who keeps insisting he doesn't need a teleprompter had to pause his rally to fix his teleprompter. He claims he doesn't need it, yet he literally can't continue without it. This really sums up Trump perfectly, saying one thing while doing the exact opposite. I couldn't script it better myself, personally. And speaking of projection, he claimed Harris needed a teleprompter during her town hall, when it's clear he's the one who relies on it.
These are the people that we have coming into our country, and we're now known as, and all throughout the world, as an occupied country. We're an occupied country, can you believe?
Then, a little later, he started talking about the U.S. as an occupied country. We actually haven't discussed Trump's plans for mass deportation before on this channel, but it's something that he still can't give a coherent answer on the morality or feasibility of it. Instead, all he does is yell and push out more lies. Let's check out what he said here.
We had the most successful country in the history of our history. We never had, and probably in the history of the world, we had never had a period of time like this.
Was the Trump administration really the most successful in American history? Many argue otherwise, pointing to the significant economic challenges that arose after his presidency. In fact, President Biden and Vice President Harris had to step in and clean up that mess. So, what successes are we talking about here? Unless you're a billionaire who benefited from a hefty tax cut, it's hard to see it that way. Plus, let's not forget the misleading statements made during that time. Trump wasn't just misrepresenting his own record, he also misled the public about Senate Democrats. Let's check this clip here.
Or you're going to have somebody in office that's going to destroy your country. You also need to defeat your disastrous radical Democrat Senator Jackie Rosen and elect a great patriot to defend your Washington values and your values in Reno. Although, I don't know, Reno, can I talk about great values in Reno? Yeah, I think I can. I'm not sure if everybody's going to believe that one, but I believe it. I know a lot of great people from Reno. We have values and all different values, and you have great values here. Jackie Rosen is a disaster. She votes virtually 100% of the time. Originally.
So we turn our attention to Jackie Rosen, who's in one of the most crucial races this election cycle. But she's not alone in rattling Donald Trump. Former President Barack Obama is back on the campaign trail, advocating for Harris, and it's clearly driving Trump up the wall. Let's check out his reaction in this next clip.
Originally, you know, she was a big Barack Hussein Obama. Have you ever heard of him? Remember Rush Limbaugh? Rush Limbaugh, he'd be talking about it, we'd go, Barack, he'd like falling asleep, Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. We miss Rush, right?
I can honestly say I don't miss him, and I doubt many others do either, especially not Barack Obama. In fact, I'm pretty sure Obama isn't thinking about Limbaugh at all. He's focused on defeating Donald Trump, and let me tell you, he's doing a fantastic job with his messaging. Now, let's take a look at a clip from Obama's recent speech that's sure to have riled Trump the most.
And the reason some people think, well, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in being pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good, because it was my economy. We had 75 straight months of job growth that I handed over to him. It wasn't something he did. I had spent 8 years cleaning up the mess that the Republicans had left me the last time. So just in case everybody has a hazy memory, he didn't do nothing except those big tax cuts.
And that's all I've got for you for today's video. How do you feel about the little incident with the teleprompter? Was the irony as funny to you as it was to me? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Take care until the next video.